So just a shop update, and I wanted to go over my gear as well. So we're gonna go over the gear first, and then we'll move on to the shop update. So this is my setup, and you can see the tripod I'm on, and I got it on wheels so I can move it around. And I've noticed with some YouTubers with expensive cameras, maybe not as elaborate as this, but they've had accidents. And this old Tony, I guess, destroyed one of his cameras, knocking it over. So I did this in the beginning as I got cat leashes, and I got them run up to the ceiling, and then I've got it lashed. So there's no way I can knock the camera over, and I've got them in other locations in the shop. Got one hidden up there. There's one right there you can't see. So that keeps the accidents to a minimum. I mean, there's thousands of dollars in this setup, and the last thing I want to do is drop it. So the tripod is a Sachtler, I guess is how you say it. And you just pull up on these things, and you can very easily, it's got a handle here. You can grab this handle with one hand, like so, and then you can flip these up and adjust it up and down real quick. It's got extendable legs. It's carbon fiber, so it's real light. That's the it was an expensive tripod, and then I've got it on wheels so I can move it around the shop, so I don't have to pick it up and jerk it around. I can, move it around pretty easily, and I can lock the wheels down just to keep it from moving once I'm ready to be in position and film. So the camera is a Sony A6600. When I got the camera, when I first decided to do this, I really didn't know anything about this, and I think initially I made a mistake getting this camera. I should have just got the A7, but it is what it is. The A7's a full frame. There's some issues if you're panning with this. It can distort the pan, and if you've got like a motor or something that's moving real fast, it can start doing weird things in the video. And it's only 8-bit, whereas the A7 is 10-bit. So that's a big difference in that as well. But as long as I'm stationary and shooting a video, I mean, nobody notices, oh, that's not a 10-bit camera. I mean, it's YouTube, so it is a good camera if you're just doing YouTube videos. So the lens, let me see, I can't see. It's a Sigma lens, and it's a, let me see here, if I can. There's the 24 by 70. It's a zoom lens, and I think it starts at f2.4 or something, but you can zoom in and out. And this is a good general basic all-around lens. It has some features. I'm not really using those right now. And in the front of the lens, I got a UV filter to put on there because I am in the shop, things go flying. And if I got chips on a machine or sparks from a grinder or something, those abrasives can, they'll put pits in glass really easily. Or God forbid, I spill something and it goes flying. The lens filter was like $12 on Amazon. So that acts as kind of a frontline protection against the lens. And then, it also keeps dirt off the lens, so I can just clean that. So that was the first thing that I got. And I think that's probably the smartest thing I got, because I have had some accidents in the shop. I had a grinding wheel explode, and luckily it completely missed the camera, but I can show you. There are still pieces of the grinding wheel stuck into my door. And there's pieces that went into the lathe. One piece, that's where that landed, right there. And of course, there it is. Norton. If you want a disc that'll explode, just buy Norton. And so accidents happen. Thankfully, this did not get hit at all. I also, was smart enough to have the camera away from what I was doing. So anyway, I put it on a frame because I got stuff mounted to it. Now I know this is probably more elaborate than what most of you guys out there want to do, but I would, at the very least, put your camera on a frame. I think this is like 45 bucks, and you can get one to fit your camera. And if you do drop it, it can offer some shock resistance, but it does give you the option to mount stuff. So I could mount a handle, and I could mount, my sound on there. I went ahead and bought this extra handle, and I bought a rail to mount it on, so I can take the handle off, I can move its position, whatever. And then of course you can mount it in a multitude of different ways with that on there. And I got most of this off Amazon. It's a small rig. So I got these rails, and this is like a lens support. So that's the camera. Now on this, one of the things that people complain about is this here, and I can kind of understand that, but I don't even need it anymore. I just go in there when I'm doing settings, and I can look down at it like that and adjust it, whatever, or just keep it out of the way. And then I've got extension cables. So on the back, I've got a big, heavy battery, because if you're filming for a long time, you don't want your battery to go dead. So I got a big battery, and I got the battery plate, so everything powers up from here. And it has different inlets and outlets. You can see the camera is plugged in here. I think that's the camera. And then I have this monitor plugged in, and you have a couple other outlets you can use to plug in, and plus the battery has a D-tap and a USB power. So you've got a lot of flexibility with this. So that's why I have that. And this battery, you can check your charge right there. So that powers everything. It powers the camera, and it powers that monitor there, and that little monitor is an energy hog. So that's why I opted for the big beefy battery. Now, on an airplane, if the battery is this big, from what I understand, they won't allow it on. But if you've got a smaller one, they will. And I think they only allow you like 1 or 2 batteries. I'm not sure. I've never gone flying with this, and I don't plan to. But so this is my sound setup. It's a Sennheiser. And I like it pretty well. It's wireless, so I wear a mic. I think what's his name? Can't remember his name. Vintage Machinery. He's got this set up, the sound Sennheiser, and it was expensive, but you know, I'm not a real fan of Rode. I don't have a very high opinion of their stuff, so I just won't get into it. I put this on to protect. I've got a fluid head that this came with, and the fluid head is really nice for you've got up and down, and you've got pan, so you got pan tilt, and it smooths the motion so you don't have any of that jerkiness when you're panning. And this is a professional setup here. This isn't this is not a so you can adjust the amount of resistance, you know, that this has. Let's get back on the setup there. And then you can tighten it down to hold the thing. You've got different adjustments for the up down, and you've got different adjustments for the, you can make it stiffer or looser, however you want. And then of course I added the Ninja 5, and this is a huge help. So I record off of this. I'm not recording off the camera anymore. So there is no SD card in here at all. No need. This is what's doing the recording, and with a bigger monitor interface, I can see what I'm doing better. You know, I can focus in, and you know, it's just I can see what I'm doing. And you can interface the camera controls through here. I don't, but you can. There's a lot of different settings you can go through. This is a really functional piece, and I would really highly recommend getting one of these. If all you have is just the camera, at least have this, because you can mount that up here instead of the handle, you know, and if you're, you know, recording into your camera, you can have this looking back at you. And then you've got my microphone, which goes to my deal there. You can have your monitor headphones, power jack. Then you've got your HDMI in and out. And then I got they have cheaper cables, but I got the proper cable to go with this, and it was expensive, but I didn't want to have any issues. So that goes right in to the camera there. Now on the camera, I have the sound turned off, because if you don't do that, what's going to happen, this will record the sound from the Sennheiser and the sound from the camera, and it'll really not sound right and mess with your head. So and then I got a little arm which I can adjust. I can mount this any which way I want, just by loosening this. So I can face this around, I can put it up high, I can face it forward, however which way I want to do. But a lot of times it's just easy to have it on the side, so I can, you know, like I'm focusing in on a milling machine, I can face all the controls of the camera on this one side, do everything that I'm doing, and look at the monitor and dial it in right from there. And usually I'm standing on this side of the camera when I'm filming, so I can just look at the monitor when I need to. So that's the basic setup. And then now they have a proprietary deal which plugs into the back here, and Let's see if I got it here. Might have it inside. Yeah, here it is. It's a hard drive case. Atomos makes all this. Now you put your drive mounts in there and then plugs in there. But as you can see, I've done something different, and a couple reasons. One, this thing gets hot, and this is where the vents are, and so by having that there, it tends to get hot, and I didn't like that. And plus, I'm constantly, I've got 2 drives, I'm always changing them around. So I decided to do a remote setup. So I got this cable off Amazon, and I got Velcro. So there's some Velcro. This is my secondary or whatever. And then the other one, I got up on the battery. So I can just plug that in, stick it on a battery. Now I've got better airflow, better cooling, and I don't have to go plugging in and out of this all the time. And I can just swap drives. When I'm done filming, I can yank that drive and go in and to the computer and start editing, do whatever I need to do. So that's why I got that. And this setup works really good for me. And the thing with rigs is, it's like everybody's setup is going to be according to what their needs are. But this is a really good setup, and I'm happy with it. And I don't think I'm going to change it. If I could change it, I would like the battery to be somewhere else. And I am toying with the idea of possibly mounting the battery down here so I can clear that deck and have better access to the camera monitor. That's really the only downside. I don't know if I just changed something on there. Let's see. Oh, what am I doing? Okay, I think it's fine. All right, just a little hiccup there. And I can also, I have this so that I can pop the camera all by itself off and leave everything else behind. And then I can put the battery in here and the SD card, and I can just film off of this pretty quickly. But the internal mic isn't that great. It's going to sound bad. So that's my basic camera setup. That's my security setup so it doesn't fall. And another thing here, I'll just come over here. I keep some of my camera equipment here. I got gaffer's tape, got extra lighting, bags, tie downs for cables, zip ties, special zip ties that are, these come in handy every now and then. Now these, you can undo these zip ties, and they're rubberized on this side. Mike Patey is a YouTuber. He's a pilot, and these are his invention, and he uses these on his airplanes so that they don't dig into the wires or cause a problem, and he can just undo these pretty quick. And I find these to be really, really helpful. And then I've got 2 different slates. So if I'm, and I've got the 2 hard drives, and so like on this one, I've got the ceremonial pipe I'm filming, which I'm gonna get into on the shop update, and then that hard drive for whatever else I'm filming. So you'll see I got the ceremonial pipe set up for this one. This one was for the spindle grind, which I'm not gonna be doing. That's gonna come off, but that way I can film 2 different things. I don't have to, change back and forth. And I've got them, one's black, one's white, so they're differentiated right away. And I just I have all this when I start filming. I start with that, so right away when I go to edit, I know exactly what I'm looking at. I know what scene, what take, and the director, camera, the date, and a little thing for sync. And these were like, I don't know, 20 or 30 bucks off Amazon, and this one's actually a better one than this one. And this is just for syncing sound if that's what you need to do. You don't need to like smack this really hard. Just just a real simple, that's all you need to do. Nothing big. And that's pretty much it. So that's my setup, and I'm pretty happy with it.